Mr. Ubah is alleging that the delegate list used for the PDP Anambra primary was different from the certified true copy of the delegates list he got from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. He's accusing some governors and prominent members of the party of conspiracy. Mr. Oseloka Obazi polled 672 votes to beat Dr. Alex Obiogbolu and Mr. Ubah, who scored 190 and 94 votes respectively. 4 candidates had pulled out of the race. Professor Fodike announced his withdrawal without giving a reason. Prince John Emeka also withdrew from the race, citing alterations in the delegates list of the party as reason for his action. Stella Odua and Honorable Linda Kweazu, a serving member of the House of Representatives, those also backed down. I have here with me in the studio a legal practitioner and himself, Mr. Ubah, who is alleging foul play in the PDP primary. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. Mr. Raphael Ajibola Oluyede joins us also on the program. Many thanks, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. I mean, for that kind of primary that was conducted in your state, and you seem so aggrieved to the extent that you wanted to speak at all costs. What are your grievances, really?
Well, it's the level of impunity. I mean, we want a rebranded PDP, but what we are seeing is something of a different sort. And I think it's not about me, as per se. It's about other people. We are heading towards 2019, and the party needs to be restructured well. So we have to bring the impunity before the media and the general public.
I mean, when you say impunity, this was a party that you went all out for. I mean, you were the man who spearheaded the transformation agenda of Nigeria. And a lot of people would think that this is a party that you truly believe in. And now you're saying impunity. A lot of people will say, because it does not favor you now, that's why you're speaking foul of the party.
Well, it takes courage, for one, to say things the way they are. It doesn't really matter. I'm not a kind of, I don't have kind of dependency on politics. You know, I have politics because I care about my people, and also I have a fallback, which is my business. Okay, so I'm in politics to serve the masses, not in politics for do or die. So I have to say it the way it is. If it's right, we say it the way it is. And what we did in town, nobody disputed it. We have a opposition party that did not dispute one single content out of over 4,000 contents we published in town. So that is me.
Who sponsored the town?
I.
With your own personal money?
I have also said it before to many Nigerians, and I also say it. If anybody had given town 1 kobo in this country or has been part of funding of town, it should come up. I have not entered one police station in line with what happened in town since this regime. It is the price I paid for PDP. And I know why. I know what is happening around me today. Some of them are linked to town, my involvement in town. But, you know, clear conscience fears not accusation.
Because
so for PDP to treat me in this manner, and I think I don't deserve it.
Because you said that you've not gained anything from the PDP. The thinking of a lot of people in your state is that you wanted something back in return when you planned the town.
No. There's nothing in return. I said it before Nigerian, and I repeat it again. I have not taken 1 naira contract from federal government till date. I'm not before or after, but till date. I have not collected 1 waiver. So if you see Ubah is God-made.
Now you are suspended out of the party.
I have not seen the suspension letter. I was not queried.
But you heard it on TV.
I just saw it.
That you were suspended.
I just saw it on the social media. I have not seen the suspension letter. I have not even seen the query. If there was query, how many days did they give me? No even media reported the query. You just come one day and see you are suspended. I mean, and then suspension for 1 month. Why not even?
Let's ask the lawyer here, Mr. Oluyede. You have been involved in a lot of party litigation that has to do with the internal running of parties. As it stands right now, does it look so much that party supremacy always take preeminence over any grievances any member will have?
Well, that is not the case. Party supremacy has its limits. The limits are those prescribed by law. As you know, it's quite trite that political parties are the bedrock of democracy. There's no democracy inside the political party. There cannot be democracy in the state itself. And that is the reason why the laws prescribe that the party must abide by its constitution and its guidelines. If it fails to obey its own constitution and guidelines, then whatever it does is null and void. It's not an issue of party supremacy. If what you do is contrary to the law will take its course.
And you are a lawyer to Mr. Ubah here. Would you be advising him to seek redress in the court of law over his suspension?
Oh, yes. You know, he should. I mean, we believe that everything should be done according to due process, in accordance with the rule of law. I mean, in the past, you know, in those wild days, in the 60s, in Nigeria, in the First and Second Republic, you probably find all sorts of violence going on right now. But now we have access to the courts. The courts are willing to listen to an aggrieved participant in a primary. Section 87 of the Electoral Act empowers the courts to look into issues of this nature, where the very fabric of democracy is being threatened by a political party by failing to abide by its constitution and its guidelines in nominating its candidate. An aggrieved aspirant can go to the court